Well, good morning, everybody. It's Phil McCarthy again from the Southwest Indian Foundation, Gallup, New Mexico. Hope you're well wherever you are. We have the privilege to see things that a lot of people just don't have the opportunity to see because we literally have the third world at our fingertips here. We try to hold ourselves to a standard where we try to distribute charity with dignity and with kindness, and preserving the rights and privacy of the families. That can be a balancing act. I was thinking of just a few years ago, and perhaps you've heard this story, and it's been told a couple times, but a number of years back, a group of teenagers were actually here doing volunteer work. They were probably roped into it. We were putting in a ramp and a stove in a family dwelling that was, pretty good distance outside of Gallup, and traversing out there. I remember it was in the summer. I can remember it like it was yesterday. It was hot and it was muggy, and for these dry parts, and it was dusty. The dwelling itself had no running water, no electricity. It was a typical, the clothesline with the dog cowering in the corner. It's a very typical view scene, on the reservation, and the group was putting in this ramp, and there was a member of the family that had to have handicap. They were in a wheelchair, and the work went really well one day. The first day, but I noticed there was this little girl. She didn't have any toys. I think her name was Lynette. She's probably 5 or 6 years old, and she was out there. And I know the tricycle that it was the only toy out in the dirt, and she would rock back and forth on it, and then she'd pull it. The spokes were broken, and the axle was bent, and she couldn't really ride it, as it was made. It was broken down, and she would pull it, and she would push it, and stuff. And I noticed that the teenagers, they're probably 14, 15, 16 years old, and that they were all kind of, talking at lunchtime between themselves, and I didn't think anything of it. So the next morning, we came back to Gallup that evening, of course, and the next morning we're all assembled. I noticed in the pickup truck, I'm looking, and there's a brand new shiny tricycle sitting in the pickup truck. And if you knew about this group, they were poor, like lower middle class, blue collar type of kids. They didn't have spending money. And the evening before, they had all gotten together and pooled all of the money that they had available for the trip, and they went out and bought this little girl a new tricycle. And it just devastated me at the time. I mean, just say, here we are, supposed to be, the professionals of distributing charity, and then we were learning from these young people. And I always think it reminded me that the story, that he ain't heavy, he's my brother. That kind of capsulizes what we would like to aspire to be. In the giving that we actually receive. And you can see it on the face of these young people. That was better than any gift they could have given themselves to help this little girl out. And so we hope to carry on that tradition, and we thank you for helping us participate in the giving of charity. And we hope that you can stay with us, and we cannot express enough how much we appreciate you being part of the Southwest Indian Foundation family. And with that, may you always walk in beauty.